What I can tell you is that it's going to be an interesting fight. I think you've got dynamics. You've got Gervonta, who's probably going to be angry, probably woken up, probably more focused than he has been, not talking about retirement. That's a factor.
I think Gervonta had a bad night. I look for a tough fight in the next fight, but I still see Gervonta winning. I think Gervonta will win in a little easier this time. But Roach is a heck of a fighter. He's going to give everybody a hard, anybody that fights is going to give a hard time. But I do think that Davis had an off night.
What does the rematch look like between Lamont and Gervonta, you think?
I like Lamont in the rematch.
You were one of the few that kind of picked Lamont to begin with. Why was that?
I sparred with Lamont. I knew that.
Gervonta Davis has sent a clear warning to Lamont Roach ahead of their highly anticipated rematch. Speaking from his training camp, Gervonta Davis minced words, stating that not even the referee will be able to save Roach this time. He dismissed the hype surrounding Roach as temporary and promised to put an end to it once.
We did how many rounds? We probably did at least like 8 straight.
Yeah, but you in the bag for about 8 too?
Yeah.
That's good. You're not in bad shape.
Yeah. This guy pick up my money.
And for all known for his intensity and unfiltered approach, Gervonta Davis made it clear that he's not just aiming for a win, he's aiming to make a statement. While Roach may have turned heads in their first, Gervonta Davis laser-focused on silencing the critics and leaving no doubt about who the dominant force really is.
What does the match look like between Lamont and Gervonta, you think?
I like Lamont in the rematch.
You were one of the few that kind of picked Lamont to begin with. Why was that?
I sparred with Lamont. I knew that he was a good fighter. He helped me get ready for the Oscar Valdez fight. And I knew his style, with Tank style, what he was going to be able to bring to the table. I knew it. So,
did you really win 20 rounds?
I swear to God, on my daughter's life, I won that much money.
How different does a rematch look in your...
The rematch, he says, will be brutal and decisive. One fighter who will be watching Gervonta Davis. Roach rematch closely as undefeated WBC lightweight champion Shakur Stevenson, with a potential showdown against the winner on the horizon. Stevenson has a vested interest in how this bout unfolds. Renowned for his slick counterpunching and high ring IQ, Stevenson has a long-standing rivalry with Gervonta Davis, and he hasn't been shy about voicing it. In a recent interview with,
I think it's dangerous for him to go back in there and fight Lamont. I think Lamont is a hell of a fighter. I can see that going left. So,
Fight of TV, Stevenson didn't hold back, delivering a direct message to Gervonta Davis he should approach the rematch. With tensions already simmering, Stevenson's comments have only added more fuel to the fire. I think it's dangerous for him to go back in there and fight Lamont.
I think that the next fight is going to be a whole lot better, and I think the next fight is going to end with somebody being on the canvas, in my opinion. But I think that Lamont Roach, I want to give a shout out to Lamont Roach for putting up such a amazing performance. We never seen anyone stand there toe-to-toe with Gervonta Davis. We never seen anyone there throwing punches, power punches.
Said Shakur Stevenson when asked about Gervonta Davis' chances in the rematch. Lamont's a hell of a fighter. I could see that going the wrong way for Davis if he's not on his meat.
You're going to get in the ring and you're going to have that moment where you got to step it up and it just won't come. But I think that's what
was a rare moment of concern from Stevenson, who typically speaks with calm confidence about his ability to handle anyone in the division. But his words carried weight if Gervonta Davis slips against Roach.
He's trying to please the fans possibly and take this fight versus Lamont Roach in a rematch. Is it even worth it to please the fans who are going to love you one minute, hate you the next? They're going to love him this minute, they're going to hate him next minute. Oh, I don't like it. He can fight Lamont Roach, and they're going to say, well, he's supposed to knock Lamont out if he does win. Or if he loses to Lamont, they're going to say, oh, we knew Lamont was better. It's just always is a never-ending story in regards to boxing. You can't just please the people.
It could crack the door wide open for a blockbuster clash between Stevenson and the winner. A fight that would generate massive buzz and carry major financial stakes. Boxing legend Roy Jones Jr. has shared his thoughts on the upcoming Gervonta Davis rematch. Speaking to pro boxing fans.
No way you could say Tank won. There's no way.
Do you think that he's diminished in some way, or do you think that just mentally he just wasn't there for the fight?
Well, a little bit of both. His age is catching up to him. His legs aren't there as he used to be. And, he switched his trainer, that's could be another factor.
with Barry Hunter being the head trainer and Coach Calvin being outside.
Yeah, but he snapped at Calvin too, so that's, you know, there was something going on.
Jones praised Lamont Roach for his impressive performance in their first fight and suggested he could surprise the world once again. However, he believes Gervonta Davis will come in better prepared this time. Roach might shock the world again, but the difference now...
See like him kind of messing with his eye, or did you have any indication that that was something that was bothering him?
No, see, and that's the thing. If you look at the whole fight, he was never bothering his eyes before
you jabbed him.
Before I jabbed him. Even that right hand that, like, you know what I'm saying, that kind of landed, he kind of rolled with it, but after that, you can see him wipe his eye. And then, right after I hit him with the jab, you can see him wipe his other eye. So it's like it was corresponding to which hand that I punched him with and exactly which eye. So
now is Gervonta Davis' new attitude, a new mindset, and a new motivation. Roach will do well, but I think will be more dominant this time around as one of the most dynamic fighters in boxing history. Jones understands the value of strategic adjustments. His confidence in Gervonta Davis, those changes, is a strong endorsement.
You want my honest opinion? I feel like me and Lamont Roach, stylistically, is the hottest fight in the weight division. Yeah. Lamont Roach stood right there with Gervonta, the hardest puncher in the division, right? Ooh. So put him up against me. I'm not going nowhere.
Y'all really gonna box, man.
We're gonna fight. I feel like stylistically, that's one of the best matchups in the division for sure.
It's gonna be a lot of rolling in that fight.
You know, I'm gonna argue, man.
And a warning that the former WBA lightweight champion may be ready to put all doubts to rest. Ryan Garcia, a former opponent of Gervonta Davis, also weighed in on the upcoming rematch during an interview with East News. Garcia, who has been outspoken about his aspiration in the lightweight division.
Yeah, I think so, and I feel like people just don't like Tank to a point where any little thing, just because he ain't knocking him out, he probably feel as though that he lost, and he didn't, or it was a draw, you know. I feel like Tank was doing a lot of smart things in the beginning. He was moving a little bit too much, but I feel like he was still like frustrating and things like that, and I think Tank did it.
Gave the edge Gervonta Davis time around. Garcia said shift into a different gear. He probably expected it to be easier the first time and thought Roach would fold, but Roach didn't. Now, we should expect a tougher fight.
You want to get beat up by Devin. Listen, all the tapes are out, everything is out. You know, I won the money. I know I'm not supposed to be gambling and stuff, but I won the money. That was clear. We seen everything. It's out, Tank. You know.
Oh, you trying to say the blueprint is out?
Huh?
The blueprint is out, you were saying?
No, yeah, right now. Okay. Everybody know old Crazy Bill just ain't just crazy no more. You know, thankful to Lamont Roach and Team Roach, yeah. Right?
But Gervonta Davis, the Rematch Garcia's perspective carries. Wait. Given his first-hand experience with Davis's power and the intense pressure he brings into the ring, his prediction adds yet another layer of intrigue to an already highly anticipated rematch. Another fighter who's weighed in on the highly anticipated rematch is Rolando Romero.
Like the betting me that he gonna knock me out and stuff like that. That didn't go too well for him.
Did y'all bet?
Oh, we bet and we shook on it.
He paid up?
He changed his number. Again, there's a high level of mutual respect for each other. Like I said, we bumped into each other plenty of times. More than the average boxer would see another boxer outside of boxing. So it's cool. Like, he cool with me and I'm cool with him. If we were to see each other outside.
Who faced Gervonta Davis back in May 2022 and was stopped in the 6th round. In an interview with Ring Magazine, Romero backed his former opponent to come out on top against Lamont Roach. Known for his aggressive style and knockout pass.
Y'all fanned out. I definitely lost. Well, no, like I said, I'm off it though. He ain't lose to me, but I also think the draw is respectable. But I also think I need to see that rematch because now he got to prove it.
Who got to prove what?
Tank. He got to prove
dog him. You can't. It can't be close. You have to.
Romero's prediction reflects a deeper understanding of boxing's harsh truths. That a fighter as explosive and dangerous as Davis can become even more lethal when challenged or underestimated. Having experienced Tank's power firsthand, Romero's take adds credibility to the growing belief that Davis will return to the ring.
Gervonta versus Lamont Roach. Who do I got? I got Gervonta, and possibly by knockout. You know, there's a lot of people that say that wasn't really quite Gervonta Davis. Me, on the other hand, I think Gervonta needed his ass whipped. I think victory was defeating Gervonta. Gervonta's been doing the same damn things thinking, okay, this should beat you. I'm gonna collect the data, then I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna turn up. And Lamont was ready for that shit. What I'm saying is, I think Gervonta is a greater fighter than Lamont.
More focused, more calculated, and ready to make a statement in the rematch. Could Lamont Roach Jr. have pulled off a victory over Gervonta Davis if the referee had ruled Tank's late round knee as a knock?
The rematches that you fought? 0. What do you have to do to create enough separation where this don't happen again? Whew, it's a good question. It's going to be based on my training camp. I have to push myself a little harder. If that didn't get me the win, and I have room. I definitely have room. I'm not going to lie, I have room. You believe you fought the best Gervonta, or do you think he got some more gears? 100% for a fact. I think he might have some more gears, but I fought the best Gervonta that night.
Down. According to many fans, the answer is yes. The controversial nature of their first fight sparked widespread debate and an immediate push for a rematch, this time with a more decisive referee presence. Interestingly, Roach Jr. says he's already taken steps to ensure things go differently the next time around.
The hardest puncher I ever faced, no. And I ain't shitting on him or nothing like that, he can punch. But Jonathan Oquendo, he's from Puerto Rico. Bro, he got bricks in his hands, bro. I lie to you not. He punch hard. I ain't gonna lie. He hard.
Over the weekend, Roach made his move to the lightweight division official, and in their 12-round clash, he pushed the Maryland native Davis to the limit. Going the distance with him for the first time in 5 fights, Roach outlanded the 30-year-old Davis through much of the bout and delivered an eye-catching final stretch that had many believing he had done enough to capture the WBA light